What's up? What's up? I'm over here at King's Automotive, and we're about to go on a quick coffee run. It's not just going to be any coffee run though, because we're about to take this thing, 992.1 GT3. Hey man, let me lay down a floor mat for you. So, good luck getting in and out of the seat. You can step all over this. I don't care. It's going in the laundry. We protect my bolster. I need to get the bolster guards. I'm just cheap and don't want to pay $600. How's the new ride? I already put like 5,000 on the water, so I'm just glad it still has new car smell. It's pretty good. I've honestly driven it so much within the past like month and a half that it feels like a regular car. Good. Yeah, I go like shop right in it and shit. We just had such good weather and no rain. Impressions, amazing. I took it on a track one time and realized that I do not know how to drive the car. Just can't drive it like an M3. And what else? The brakes, when you step on it, one thing I noticed immediately was that the car does not nosedive like a normal car. Like, yes, you feel the weight transfer, but it's not nearly as aggressive. And you can take turns in this like obviously way faster, like I would say at least 5 miles per faster, like without trying. You know, obviously you could probably do more than 5 if you like skilled, but without trying, this thing is like 5 miles per hour faster around any corner. And the rear end is super like communicative. Like if you start to slide out, it like rumbles. I guess the track is so wide, the tires are pretty wide. It warns you, so you just gotta chill. And then I realized that you kind of have to just let off the throttle gently, but not fully, because then it like really upsets the car if you just snap off the throttle. That happened to me at the track actually. I got scared and I let go of the throttle and the whole car like spun out. I was like, great. I just drove straight into the grass. Like, it was very slow, so nothing happened. And you know, NJMP has a lot of very good on-offs, so literally nothing happened except the car got dirty. Oh, no lift shift is great. When you no lift shift it, you could do it partial throttle, flat footed, whatever you want. If you kind of like go a little slow on the shifting and keep the pedal down, it'll like bounce off the rev limiter for like a second or two. It's sick. Does it give you similar sounds as like a DSG fart, kind of? Not really. I don't know how to explain it. It just like hits the limiter for like a split second. Yeah, it just holds the RPM there. If you hold it, I think after it's warmed up, at certain RPMs, if you kind of just like hold it, it'll like burble and shit. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, like it's like factory programmed in. It just like, it's very subtle, but you'll hear it and you're like, wait, why does the exhaust sound like it's breaking up? It's actually like burbling. You're like, wow, it's pretty sick. Yeah. My car does that too, but I also don't have cats. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I backfired like crazy at the track and then saw the blue smoke, so I thought I blew the engine. That's why I was like, should I quit right now? But then obviously it drove completely fine and still does right now. Just that the AOS does need to be changed. Without question. Give me your hot take. Why the manual? Because obviously it's a 2023, right? 2022. So it's a very modern car, a very modern sports car. A lot of people, especially tracking it, I feel like would opt for the PDK. Now obviously you've had both in terms of the BMW DCT, 6-speed manuals, all that. You chose to go the manual route with something like this. Why'd you choose that? So to be honest, I actually like the DCT in the BMW more than the manual. Depends on the chassis. F80, DCT, DCT, E9X, it's like a toss-up, honestly. And even this, half the time, maybe even more than half the time, I kind of wish this was PDK, but I got the manual out of like an enthusiast spec. Not even because like I'm trying to resell it or anything, but I don't know. It just, I'm always like a manual first guy. Like if I had to do it again, I would still get the manual, but like secretly wish it was a PDK, like if that makes any sense. And I really wanted a PDK at first, but my friend who has a 991.2 GT3 told me, he's like, bro, like, you know, you can like flat foot shift this thing, right? Like no lift shift. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, try that out and then see if you still want the PDK. And I will say that made it like a lot better. Now like everywhere I go, unless I'm being lazy or habitual and I just let off the gas naturally, I basically like no lift shift it everywhere. It makes it a lot smoother too, because you don't get the bounce. Yeah. So even when you're just driving around town, you could do no lift shift? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot smoother. It drives like an auto, I guess. Huh. Just you have to be the auto. You have to be the input, so. Does it rev match on downshift? Yeah. So auto rev match, no lift shift, so up or down, however you want it.
What mods do you want to do to it?
Honestly, these cars are, I guess, perfect, so you can't really do too much. Like, that was no lift shift.
Oh, wow.
Feels like a normal
Yeah. Wow.
You can't really do anything to this, but like maybe like the clear tail, the OEM clear tail.
Is that like a Euro spec thing, or?
Yeah.
I
I
see.
want to get like the gray badges. I think that's pretty sick, especially on like a lighter color. Headers, obviously, probably from Soul. And I eventually want to get the Manthe racing wheels, not the Aero discs. Yeah, it's spotted money, so.
Yes.
I've definitely spent more on BMW parts, you know, between all the BBS wheels, but I guess this car was just so expensive to get with us. Like, I'm like, this is probably more than every other BMW combined, including the mods. Stop. God, chill. I definitely overpaid for this car. Actually, not really. I mean, yeah, everyone does, I guess. But I think relatively, I got it for a pretty good price for what it was. And I think with the Dot 2s, I don't know what the reception is. I think the general reception is that it's kind of a flop. I think it's like 40K more base MSRP, and it looks like less aggressive. Like, some parts of the rear end looks better, but like the front, like, die plate, or what, I don't know, like the little shields in front of the bumper, I don't think anyone likes it. Like, the headlights are cool, but aside from that, like, I think a lot of people believe that the 992 Dot 1s are going to hold stronger value because the Dot 2s came out, whereas like before they came out, people were like, oh, you know, like Dot 1s might drop, but I think Dot 1s are going to stay pretty good. The rear bumper looks way less aggressive on the Dot 2. It's cleaner, more modern. Probably you look at it in a little while, it gets better and better kind of deal. But I think just baseline out the box, the Dot 1s are so aggressive, they're almost like perfect. I was looking at a Shark Blue one, same options, just I think it didn't have race text interior. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I kind of like it, and I don't think it had the extended fuel tank. I think Shark Blue is a better color, to be honest. I like Shark Blue better, but I guess this is more desirable, so it kind of grew on me. But and that's like my gripe with PTS or individual as well. I think objectively some colors are better. Like for BMW example, Isle of Man green looks amazing, but it's a base color, so everyone has it. But then you put it next to like some other green, like let's say Brewster green on a BMW, I think Isle of Man looks better, but then people think Brewster's better just because they're told it's better, like, oh, it's individual. So like same thing here, like I think Shark Blue honestly looks better than Maritime, but you know, we're conditioned to think that this is better because like, well, you know, pay more for it, it's rare, blah blah blah. But objectively, I think Shark Blue looks better. So but I love this car. It's definitely more unique of a color. I think if you look at it, it gets less old with Shark Blue because of how unique it is. So for that reason, I can see there being value. But aside from that, I think Shark Blue's a better color.
This is Maritime Blue, correct?
This is Maritime, yeah. I think this color debuted it on the 964, so.
I like Maritime. And I've seen a 964, I've seen a 997 in that color. It pops.
It's definitely a unique color. I like the shade of purple. I love the name too. I didn't know Maritime was an actual word. I thought it was just like some random shit, like Laguna Seca. Like, I'm sure those mean something too, but it's like a track, right? And it's like a name. Like, what is a name? Like your name, like Tom. What does that mean? It's just a name.
Right.
So I thought Maritime was just a word, but I looked it up. Turns out it stands for like aquatic, like activities, like sea stuff. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, you know, it actually makes sense with the name now. So, and the color. I guess sometimes if you look out in the ocean, there's like purple in it. Yep. So I was like, okay, that made me like kind of like the color now that there's like sort of a meaning behind it.
Are we gonna rip it before we get to the shop?
Yeah, we should probably rip it before we get coffee. I don't know, we'll just hold the coffee, it's okay. This car drives so different. Like when I first got it, like 2 weeks in, I got like overconfident. There's a turn like near my house. I was just feeling edgy. And like, yeah, I went into it doing like 50. It was a really sharp line one. This whole thing started like skirting, like it saved itself. I was like, yeah, never mind. Like, Link can handle good, but like, don't be a fucking dumb driver.
The traction and stability control in these is incredible.
Yeah, I never turn them off. I'm just like, dude, like I'm good. Like in a BMW, I'll fuck around. Like if you've been up an F80, like yeah, very expensive, hurts, but you've been on one of these. That's like 5 2018 competition F80s you just been up, you know?
Yep. So
this one traction stays alive, and I should just delete those buttons. There's no point, you know? I'm never gonna outdrive this car. That's okay. If it gets stolen, it's that's what I charged this for. Nice. Did I get those extra? You better keep up there. Is that there? This thing burns oil. Well, I don't know if it's like proper. I looked it up. A lot of people do. It's like before every like 2,000 miles. I guess the boxer motor at the end.
Boxer motor, tight tolerances, high revving, 9,000. Yeah.
And when you change the oil, you only get out like 5 bars, because there's like 10. Because half of it like stays in the sun, like the drag.
Oh, right, dry sump.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to pump it out.
No, you just do the fine.
Interesting.
That's what I do my oil like every 1,000 miles. Shit. You haven't been in one yet, right?
No. I've been in a 992.1 GTS. That was plenty fun, but I mean, different experience.
So you haven't been on a 4-liter?
No. Sounds so good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you really don't have to do the exhaust. It's just like if you want more, but just the more. And this thing is like so sensitive. Like, and I think this thing tram lines, like it follows the road like a little too much.
Well, the front alignment is generally set up like that for the GT3s. So obviously they're supposed to be like street legal track cars. They have, I think, toe out, right? To help, or toe in?
That's why I toe out.
Yeah, toe out with a little bit of negative camber. It's supposed to be, the turning's supposed to be very sensitive.
Yeah, it's super sensitive. Like I always oversteer because I'm just like, oh my god, this much to make the turn. But no, this thing is just like, whoop, like.
They have to kind of compensate for the fact that, you know, you don't have a cup car steering rack, close ratio steering rack.
It like turns a little too long.
Do you understeer in this, or does it tend to more oversteer and then it starts to kick the butt out?
I mean, I only took it to a track once, so I was driving like a pussy, so I couldn't really tell.
Got it.
Yeah, the one time, like I said, where I let off, it like oversteered.
Got it.
Well, I think that's what they
snap oversteer.
Yeah, yeah. And that happened to me one time on the. I guess I've only oversteered in this car. Even one time, I was coming out of a highway exit ramp, and it was red. It turned green, and I was like, "Fuck it!" Like I'm gonna like try to like come out this corner hot as fuck, like from a standstill. So I started going, and then I was like, "Okay, I'm done," because like there's cops usually where I was approaching. So I let off the throttle really fast, and the whole car started like going into like the other like lane. I was like, "Wow!" There's a little bit, like it was like 2 feet, but you could tell like it wanted to go there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, these buckets are nice too.
Yeah, they are. And that's what, that's what I don't like about how sensitive this car is. Like when you're a manual driver, then you shift. There's a little bit like, I mean, there's definitely people that can do it without doing that, you know. I'm not that driver yet. Well, it's so sensitive that like steering like upsets the car.
I can see it all.
But this car, honestly, a lot like the E92, like you barely have to use your brakes. You just look at downshift and shit.
Yeah.
Which is good because CCVs are expensive.
Yep.
I looked up the 2 front rotors was 16 grand. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy an AP racing kit next season.
16,000?
10 more rotors. So that's a mod I'm gonna do. I think next year I'm gonna take these CCVs off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is the aftermarket option really better, or is it just more serviceable?
Well, it converts to iron. Like I was gonna put iron brakes on this, like an AP. This is like a very popular like thing that people do. Because even when I go to the track and there's like super rich people, like, you know, Ferrari challenge cars getting trailered in, like people pulling up. I think I saw an SCJ at one time, and they're all like, yo, like you're not gonna track up those CCVs, right? So I'm just like, yo, you know, like people have way more money, and they're even like they just know it's not worth it. Like 16,000 front rotor. It's like,
yeah.
Look, is the ringer though? 16. That's a E92 M3 or F80 on.
Right.
That's not pads. I got what I wanted. All I really wanted was front axle lift, manual, buckets and CCBs. The PTS was a plus that I wasn't really looking for. The extended gas tank was a plus that I wasn't really looking for, but apparently is a big deal for people. I guess you do go through gas, like, 'cause
Yeah.
this shit.
Is that the fans back there?
Yeah,
Feel loud.
they are. These tires are great, by the way. These are P0 Corsas. I don't know if the Corsa makes like that big of a difference, but within like 5 minutes, even just regular driving, you can smell them. Like they're already like warmed up. And then I've noticed in this car, the only people that want to race you are fucking F80s.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, it's like the demographic of like owners, but every other like kind of car, they'll actually slow it down and they'll come right up next to you and they'll like tell you to go. Cause like they want to hear it, I guess. But no one tries to race this thing. Except F80s.